You don't know what's out there.
That's why I would go.
Hi, and welcome back to Wild Dream, where we give you the freshest takes on the latest movies. My name is David.
My name is Daniel.
And I'm Timothy.
Playing a sound. I forgot Timothy can't hear the sounds. It's my bad.
That's okay.
It's on me.
It's like, whoa, that was such a good sound. Do it again.
Yeah.
Play it again. Woohoo. Wow, I love the sound of that. Quacking ducks. Wait, that might have not been the right sound effect. Let me just say every single sound effect that exists. That way you can just pick it.
Yeah.
Okay?
We'll just clip the right one.
Yeah, do some takes for
Instead
us.
of us just telling you what the sound is, we'll do.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we have Timothy on the show. Our friend Timothy. If you are unfamiliar with Timothy, he's been on a couple of episodes in the past. I know he did our Twisters episode with me and Taylor. And he streams with us all the time. So if you're like, oh, this voice sounds familiar, I feel like we've heard this name before. This is the BackBurner. From our streaming from Wild Dream Stream, twitch.tv/Wild Dream Stream. Timothy, good friend of ours, a peer of mine in film school. And he is on this episode because we just saw Tron Ares.
Ares. I almost said the wrong one.
Tron Ares. Where's Tron's cancer?
It's in his lungs. And I hate to tell you, but it's in his lungs, man. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Tron's actually dead.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Where's Tron Leo?
Oh.
Wait.
Wait. I get
Tron? Jared Leto?
Whoa. Jared Leo. Jared Pedo.
Oh my. Alleged.
Allegedly.
Jared Alleged Vito Alito.
I want to go out and say right now, Jared Leto was a great friend of mine, but he never touched those girls on the island when we were together. He never did it. He never did it. Oh, fuck.
That's good. Yes, guys, we just saw Tron Ares. This is the latest edition of the Tron franchise. And why does that matter for bringing Timothy on? Well, Timothy, our good friend, is also a fan of Tron, both a fan of Tron, the movie series, and Tron, the video game.
And the comic, the one comic that they made that's not good.
The one comic.
But he's a fan.
Timothy is an avid comic reader. So, he is involved in the comic community. By this, we mean like comic books. He's not funny at all. He could never.
No, absolutely not.
He hates humor. He's notoriously anti-humor. He does not like that shit.
He does not like being
it's why I'm not streaming with you guys as often as I used to.
Yeah, he reached a boiling point. He's like, enough with the bits, enough with the gags.
He saw the well clip and he said, I can't do this anymore.
I can't
Absolutely. It really pissed me off.
Yeah, fair.
But comic books, avid comic book reader. I do remember, I have a lot of great memories with Timothy over the years, but one of them was when you and I went to Cidercade in Dallas, which is an arcade that sells cider. And it's like a $10 entry fee and then unlimited free gameplay. And
it was a $10 entry fee. Who knows these days?
Honestly, so facts. But yeah, someone who doesn't drink or gamble or, anything like that where you have to be 21 plus, like, okay, I gamble these days. But
I was about to say, just a blatant lie. Just a blatant lie.
As someone who doesn't drink, smoke, or play cards. Okay, I do gamble, but I don't play cards. I don't go to casinos. I don't do slots. As someone who doesn't do any of that stuff, doing stuff that you can only do once you're 21 is difficult to find. And Cidercade was one of those things for me where you have to be 21 or older after a certain time. And then it's it's adults only arcade. It's awesome. Me and Timothy spent so long. We spent almost the entire length of the time there. And we spent a lot of time playing Tron together. That's one of my favorite memories, spending with my best friend.
Aw. Tron is a notoriously hard game for me. I suck at playing Tron.
I was gonna bring up the fact that I actually fucking decimated your ass in the game.
I am horrible. I love Tron, but I'm horrible at the game itself.
It's a hard game though.
Dog shit.
But literally, me and Timothy decided to play against each other because both of us tried. Because there was like 4 different versions of them that they had, and one of them was only one player, and we were like, this is the hardest game that's ever been made. We're like, the AI in this game, I understand why they made a whole movie about the AI actually having real feelings and emotions of being a human being, because that's how fucking good they were at the game. I was like, the AI is unbelievably good. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yes, this is the third movie in the Tron series, and I think as of right now, the plan is to do one Tron movie every 15, 20 years. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it at this point.
Yeah, you got to really let it stew, let the hype build up. Like, oh man, I can't wait for that Tron movie.
Yeah.
Man, Jared Leto.
Ooh, I can't-
Yeah, Disney's definitely not going to Star Wars the Tron series again.
Oh, no way.
No, they've never done that.
Speaking of, we saw a trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which that sounds so made up.
No way it's not just Baby Yoda at this point. Just call the movie and Baby Yoda.
That sounds so made up.
Just call the movie Baby Yoda. Don't even have the Mandalorian in it.
I agree.
I agree. The whole trailer was Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And we were all like, Baby Yoda.
Woohoo,
Where was Baby Yoda in Tron Ares?
Dude.
Where was Baby Yoda on the island? Let's get real.
We know where he was.
Unfortunately, Baby Yoda was brought on the island for a different reason.
Yeah, did you see, dude? They just released the list. Fucking Grogu's on there, man. Is that Baby Yoda?
Oh, no.
No, I'm saying it's a Baby Yoda. He was brought on the island for a different reason.
Oh, no! Cut this. This can't get out. This
Cannot get out. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that Mandalorian, yeah. And a Baby Yoda, no thanks. But let's get into this movie, because here's one of my biggest takeaways. And I told Dan, I said, this is the first thing that was on my mind, like going into the movie and then leaving the movie. Did everyone who wrote this movie forget that this movie is supposed to be based off a video game? They were like, this movie is all about technology and like artificial intelligence, and it's about like computers and bits and stuff. I'm like, it's about video game. It's about a video game. It's about a fucking video game.
Yeah.
At what point do they play a game? At what point is this a video game? It's not. At no point does the video game developer do anything Tron related as if Tron were a video game. I'm like, do you know what I'm saying? Like when she interacts with like the grid and all that stuff, it's like, oh, this is just part of like the creating organic material from lasers or whatever bullshit. Like, and it had nothing to do with her video game development. I was like, but Tron is a video game. Like, why is they not?
Yeah.
Why they don't mention this? It was pissing me off, bro.
Yeah.
Without getting into spoilers, that was a huge takeaway from the movie for me as well. Was okay. I know it's trying to do something different than Legacy. I know this is not just Legacy 2. I respect that. I understand that, but the amount of actual Tron in the movie was like, wait, is this a Tron movie or is this just Jared Leto in one of his extravagant, costumes trying to allegedly touch different women? It was just really annoying. It was like, what are we doing here? I thought this was supposed to be about Tron. Where's the Tron?
Dude, I felt the same
that
way.
Yeah, this could have been anything. This didn't have to be tied to the Tron property. Like
That's
IP.
so true.
So, but I think I don't. Tell me if y'all felt the same. One of the biggest words that I was thinking of when I was like, "What was that movie?" What was that? If I had to like describe it, one of the words that really came to my mind was awkward. The movie felt awkward.
Well, you know what? I actually have a better word for it. Disney. This felt like a Disney movie. This felt like a movie made by Disney. It felt like something that you could show to children.
Yeah.
Like it felt like there were so many moments in this movie that I was like, this is bordering on Disney Channel original. Like that level of awkward.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, this is a Disney movie. This is an inoffensive, no like real violence. Like they don't even like show blood, like whatever, like just nothing movie. And it was just so Disney coded. I know that Tron Legacy was kind of like that too, but at least they spent like 95% of the time in the in the grid, and I understand that they're about two different things. One of them is about living people going into the grid, and this one's about people in the grid coming out into the living world, whatever. But still, I was just like, this is just like so. It felt so much like a wallpaper Disney movie that's just gonna be on fucking Disney Plus in a month. And it belongs.
Legacy was Legacy was the Domino's viral pizza order that you eat and you're like, man, I don't feel good about it, but at least it tasted good. And then Tron Ares was like the CC's pizza that you find on the floor and you're like, I mean, I guess it's pizza, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, this is still pizza. I mean, but if it weren't pizza, that'd also be fun. I think Daniel's point about that was the best point. Is like, this didn't have to be a Tron movie. This movie is so removed from Tron, it could have been called Afraid, you know, or whatever. And it would have been AIOTA. And it could still be about, like, this whole movie could exist in its entirety, removing everything about Tron in it and keep the script the exact same.
Yeah, that was a huge disappointment. Being somebody who enjoys Tron so much and being like, okay, yeah, I'll put my neck out there on the line for something different, even though it's got alleged sex offender Jared Leto in it. And watching it, at the end of the movie, I literally turned to my wife and was like, I almost fell asleep.
Dude,
I love Tron.
I too fell.
I love Tron.
Was falling asleep.
I'm
too.
so into Tron, and I almost fell asleep during this movie.
If we were not in the Dolby Cinema, I would have fallen asleep. If it weren't for the fact that my chair was shaking, I would have fallen asleep.
And that has nothing to do with the Dolby Cinema, by the way.
No, yeah. And I feel like that's the biggest crime of the movie. It's boring. If it was like lackluster, because look, Tron Legacy did not have the greatest story in the world. You know, you look at the story and you're like, yeah, okay, nothing super special, but it had the sauce. It was fun.
It had
and
the
you
action.
Were like, oh my God, look, so cool. And
like, there was stuff
Tron
to
Ares
look at.
Is like,
I'm like, do you literally have
honk shoe ass movie?
dude? And I have a really specific example of like a time they like intentionally did something really boring that I'm going to bring up in spoiler talk because I don't know. It's not necessarily a spoiler, but for safety's sake. But yeah, I agree with that. It's like with Tron Legacy, it's like, yeah, that movie also at times feels like a Disney movie, you know, where he's like breaking into the stuff and like playing video games and they're just hacking, you know, like that kind of stuff. And it's kind of gimmicky in that way. But when they're in the grid, bro, like there is actual world building. There is actual like fucking incredible visuals that you get only from this series. Like this series gets to invent this style of, you know, visual element, you know, and so it's like this, whenever you see anything that looks like this, you go, that looks like Tron. You know, when you see like the bright color suits and the lights coming up and making weird patterns on anything now, you would say that looks like Tron. Like they invented this whole design.
It's iconic.
It's iconic.
It is, yeah.
And so they do so much of that in Tron Legacy because the majority of the movie takes place in the grid. And, you know, it's like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what's awesome about it. He goes into the grid and then he has to play the video game to survive. He's a character in a video game now. That's what it's supposed to be. It's like, could you imagine if they fucking made Jumanji and 95% of the movie is just them like hanging out, like not playing Jumanji
too.
You know, and it's like, or even like, you know,
like 90. It's like Jumanji. 95% of the movie is like, can we talk about the board game industry?
and honestly, how Hasbro just kind of makes toys now.
Yeah. And it's like,
you make toys now.
Yeah, it just goes into
look, it's alleged sex offender Jared Leto.
Oh my God, nice hair.
Like, could you imagine if we, like, if we made a movie like based off of, I don't know, God of War. We made a movie based off of God of War, okay, and the whole movie takes place in America with just like two characters who aren't from Greece. Like you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
What is this?
Like, and it's like, oh, they met Kratos. Cool. When does Kratos kill people? They're like, oh, he actually doesn't do that.
Yeah, no, he's gonna go to try a slice of pizza in New York.
Yeah,
and he's gonna go, that's spicy.
Kratos is gonna go to Starbucks and be like, this was $7. You'd be like, this isn't the video game.
Medium pizzas were $48.
It's like, at what point does he play the game? You know, like, that's, I don't know. It just, and of course, Kratos is played by Kevin Spacey.
He's like, but now I actually do want to write a sketch of Kratos at a Starbucks. Wade, you're telling me Grande is small,
Grande is medium,
boy. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's. I'm just saying what you guys are detailing, but another thing I kind of thought walking out of the theater was, and I guess before walking out of the theater, unfortunately, was, oh man, they forgot to have fun. They forgot that this is supposed to be fun. That's what I was hoping out of this movie. I saw the trailer and they started announcing cast and the soundtrack and all stuff. It's like, okay, there's some things I'm excited about. There's some things that I'm not too happy about. But you know what? I will hope I have a good time. And it's like the movie forgot that this is supposed to be fun. And it's
it's an action movie.
Yeah, man.
Like, did you forget that this was an action movie about lasers and pew pew
and light cycles and discs? And they're like, no, he reached Frankenstein. And you're like, okay,
like, oh wait, okay, AI has feelings. Like, that's what this movie was.
This is like,
this is like Clanker propaganda. This is like
it got really bad right at the beginning.
You guys shouldn't be mean to AI because AI has feelings.
Yeah, it was really bad at the very beginning, and I don't really think this is a spoiler because nothing comes of it. Where the main character, one of the main characters, what's her name? Eva Kim. The main guy is looking at recordings of her, and they're like, "Don't you think AI is dangerous?" And she's like, "No, I'd like. What happens if a loved one is long gone and you want to talk to them again?" I was like, excuse me? What did you just say? It's never brought up again, but I was like, is this going where I think it's going? Are we just going to AI our dead parents?
We are going to resurrect.
Yeah, like, was that the point of like, oh, well, if we can just take all of their social media posts, all of their text messages, put it into a generation and AI their personality, and then we can hard light print them into actual human beings, and then no one ever fucking dies again? Is that where the movie's going? They didn't do anything with that. I was like, you could do that.
It's like they wrote that, and then by the time they got to the end of writing the movie, they're like, oh, maybe that's the wrong message, but let's not go back and take that out. We'll just leave it in there. We've got to make this movie quick. We've been trying to make it for 20 years.
Yeah. Well, the other things that like pissed me off about this movie was it's also just like not made very well. There's some horrifically bad ADR in this movie. And and some of it is like literally one of them, Daniel turned to me and said, "What the fuck was that?" Because it was like Evan Peters on screen and he's saying like, "I can't believe this," and then what he's actually saying, like the audio is him going like, "This is not what I expected from this." It's like that was not even close. That wasn't even close. I was like, "What?" I was like, "You guys still showed him doing OTS." Cut to the other person, do an L or J cut if you're going to ADR a line, and then just have the audio be kind of weird and let's go, I think that was ADR, didn't it?
No, but they have to show off his tattoos.
Oh, Daniel has some opinions about that.
Dumb tattoos. I mean, just bad tattoo design. Just a bunch of
random scribble
network lines.
Yeah, network
computer. He's a hacker, man. I have to say, as much as I dislike alleged sex offender Jared Leto, I really did not like Evan Peters in this.
Well, here's I'm glad you brought that up because both of y'all's points are contributing factors to why I say this movie felt so awkward. Is because I was like, dude, I did not like a single performance in this movie. There was not a single performance that I liked. And that's a crazy thing to say about a movie for 2 hours, is I don't like any of these performances. And that takes a generationally bad director, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who made this, and I don't want to fucking know. I'm so out on whoever made this because you had some actual.
Tarantino.
You had wait, what? But you had some actual like talented people in this movie. Even Jared Leto is good in certain movies. Like, I'm just like but you don't tap into anything with it. And I don't know. I could not believe how bad the acting was in this movie. And the ADR situation, it was throughout the movie. That Evan Peters one, I remember looking at Dave going just like, what the fuck did I just see? That line was that was clearly not what he was saying. It's like that Craven Hunter movie with
the Hunter movie.
Yeah, with the
AI mouth moving. Yeah,
it felt like that. Like, it was just like, dude, this is an awkward ass movie, and
which is funny because Jared Leto is like famously bad for Morbius specifically, which is a Sony movie, and he's like Morbius. Venom and Kraven are all Sony movies about Spider-Man villains without Spider-Man, and so it's like they're all bad. So it's kind of in that realm too. And this kind of felt like that at times, you know. And I was like, is it just because Jared Leto is in this that I feel like this like is one of those shitty Sony movies? I don't know, but I will tell you this: the sister character, nothing that she said. There's like a couple of videos of the sister of the main character. And every time they show her, what she is saying is not even close to on track of what she's actually saying. And I leaned it in and I said, that person doesn't speak English. I don't know who they are, but I'm assuming that that is a Chinese actress who is, China, who speaks Mandarin as their native tongue and probably doesn't speak much English, and was told to make certain mouth movements or to say certain words. And then they ADR'd over it because it still didn't sound natural, so that they could sell this movie in China. Because there's this whole thing about like you can only sell movies in China if like a certain number of production members or actors or actresses are actually from China. So I was like, that casting is like, who is this person? I don't recognize them, but I know that what they're saying is not what they're saying. They're ADR'd in every scene that they're in. It was really bad too.
Yeah, that was the worst performance in the movie. But I didn't like. I guess it didn't click for me why it was so bad. But if you're right, then I guess that makes sense, because she was the worst performer, and she's only in a couple of just videos because she's not even an actual character in the movie. You know, she's just a. Is that a spoiler? She's dead.
No, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in this movie where I saw someone show up and I was like, oh, it's that actor, and then I was like, oh, that's it. They're gone.
Yeah.
Cameron Monaghan. Oh, hey, I know him. Oh, okay. Oh, hey, Gillian Anderson is here. Oh,
Gone.
Okay.
Yeah. Just background
Why is she
character.
here?
Is Cameron Monaghan the dude from Jedi Fallen
Yes.
game? Okay, he was in there for literally 2 seconds.
Yeah, literally
yeah, and
2
I
seconds
knew he was
gone.
going to be in the movie, and then I saw him for the 2 seconds he was in it, and I was like, wow, that's really disappointing, because I bet you he would have done a better job than Evan Peters. Let him be the bad guy.
Well, the thing is, too, is it's like, again, I know that Evan Peters can act. I've seen him in things where he's
Yeah.
really good in it. So when Daniel says like generationally bad directing, I have to believe that, because there's no way that every single one of these guys is stupid. There's also a lot of shit in the movie where it just feels like this movie is also written by people who don't live in reality. And I will get to some specific examples, but the number of like logical fallacies in this movie, or like just people doing shit that's like there is horror movie logic in this movie. And this is not a horror movie, but you know, like in horror movies, when you go, well, why would you hide there? The bad guy just went in that room, whatever it is. That a lot of that exists in this movie.
Yeah.
A lot of that. Like, hey, why would you do that instead of just doing this very easy, simple solution? Why would you allow this to happen instead of if this is happening, how come none of this other shit is happening? Like a lot of that in this movie where it's just like, it's hard. Like Tron Legacy, for all its flaws, was extremely immersive. When you're watching that movie, you feel like you're in that world, and they don't break that. This movie breaks it all the fucking time. I'm just like, and I will get to more specific examples in spoiler talk, but I'm just like, why? I understand you're a bunch of fucking Disney executives, but y'all do live in Earth, right? Like y'all live in cities. Y'all know how the world works. Like I don't know. It was so weird to me. It broke all the immersion.
And I mean, are we surprised with that? And even especially how bad it seemed the actors were directed, when you go from Tron Legacy, who's directed by the man who ended up doing Top Gun Maverick, to the guy who directed the 5th or 4th Pirates of the Caribbean film. That's who they got for this. Like, you're kind of taking a step down. I know the director for Legacy hadn't done Maverick yet, but to go, hey, who should we get to direct this? Oh yeah, the guy who made one of those Pirates movies after the 3 were done. Oh, him. You're like, okay.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, we know this guy can get it done under budget.
I mean, maybe that's why that kind of feeds your perspective, Dave, of like, this feels like a Disney movie. It's like, well, you got a Disney director.
That's true. They
know.
went and got a guy who makes Disney movies.
Yeah.
Like, and those Pirates of the Caribbean movies become more and more Disney-ified the longer you go on too. So that's definitely part of it. And also, this is a spoiler, but I'm just going to say it because it needs to be talked about in spoiler-free talk, because it's just general movie discussion. They set this movie up at the end of it as if they're going to do like 3 more Tron movies.
Not a chance.
I'm praying
Not a
not,
chance.
but they set it up as though they set it up for a sequel.
They do.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me. I was like, the awesome part about Tron, is that it's like a Frank Ocean album. You only get one every 10 years, or longer. So keep doing that,
We don't need another one.
Here's
Put on the
something-
brakes.
I mentioned this to Dan coming out of the theater. This is one of the hardest things to compartmentalize, is the fact that if you were trying to live up to a soundtrack made by Daft Punk for a movie about technology where people live inside of computers, you are not going to live up to that. That does not mean you did a bad job. Mm-hmm. It's just that this is one of the greatest musical groups of all time who revolutionized electronic music, making music for a movie about electronics. You're never going to live up to that. And I understood that going into it. I was like, listen, I love Nine Inch Nails. I think they are fantastic. They've done some really good scores over the years too. They make great music for video games and movies all the time. I think they're going to do a good job. It will not be as good as Daft Punk. And like my brain won't even if it was the best score ever made, my brain would still say not as good as Daft Punk's. Like, you know what I'm saying? But right. I also think objectively, it's not nearly as good as the Tron Legacy soundtrack. But
I agree.
They're the goats. They're the goats of electronic music. Like, you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, we wouldn't even have fucking EDM shows as they are today without Daft Punk. Like, they revolutionized electronic music. So they were the perfect choice for that movie. Obviously, they don't, work anymore. At least we don't know if they are. They could always be secretly making some shit and whatever. But you go out and you get, honestly, probably the second next best option in terms of like elite musicians who also make music for movies, which Daft Punk doesn't make music for movies. That was the only movie they did. But still, like, you go out and you get Nine Inch Nails. I respected that decision. I was like, okay, you understood, like, this score has to be fucking incredible. It has to be really good. And you better go get someone that people will be excited for. You cannot get some random guy off the street. You got to go get a Nine Inch Nails level name. I did like the music in this movie, but there were a lot of times where I was like, they just didn't nail this scene. They just didn't.
Oh, they didn't 9-inch nail it.
Nice.
Oh! They only did 8 nails. I agree. Anytime the underwater video game music started, it really started to piss me off. Later on in the film, when Ares is in a different location and it's like goom, 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 goom. I was like, I get it. Old computer. I get it.
Yeah.
And he'll just start talking and they're like, there's a sad piano. I'm like, I'm not sad. It's 9 Inch Nails. I'm not sad.
Yeah.
Just be loud.
I don't know. Again, I'm just like, is this music objectively bad? No, I wouldn't say that. And I wouldn't say the score was bad, but I do think that there were points in the movie where I was like, the music is extremely important in this scene, and this music is not good enough and didn't perfectly nail what this scene should have been and what it could have been all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess I feel a little contrarian to both of y'all on this one, because I don't think you can really appropriately talk about what you just said. Like, this isn't really nailing it. This isn't really what was it supposed to nail? They were given a heap of fucking dog shit and said, make that be good.
True.
That's
why I'm saying the music is objectively good.
Right. And I know you're not saying
in an isolation chamber and just hit play on this and put it in my headphones. This is good music.
Yeah. I just feel like I remember thinking about halfway through. I'll talk about. I'll just say this. I don't want to spoil my favorite part of the movie, but my favorite part of the movie has nothing to do with the movie, and it only has to do with the music. Okay, and it's a specific scene, right? So I remember thinking to that point, this movie. And before I say this, I do agree that Daft Punk is a better band than. A better group than Nine Inch Nails, even though they're both extremely influential to me in my music. I hold them both to very high standards. But I remember thinking about halfway through the movie, I was like, this fucking movie does not deserve this score. It just made me so mad. I was like, I wish that even you could take the exact same music from this movie and put it on a different movie entirely, and it would still work so much better than what they were given with this. I mean,
that is an interesting perspective. So I guess what you're saying, which I do think, like, recontextualizing it in my head, I do agree that you could say, instead of 9 Inch Nails didn't nail this scene did not nail 9 Inch Nails.
Exactly.
Like, this scene did not live up to the hype of the score.
Here's what I'll.
That's fair.
Here's what I'll propose is, like, there was a couple of songs that I thought because there is some shots of like kind of aerial footage of motorcycles and stuff. And and like the winter and mountains and stuff. And I was like, so I was just equating in my head to this. And I was like, this music would work so much better in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah.
Just something that's so similar in terms of some of the visuals with these motorcycle riding, but the tone, which makes sense. I mean, it's David Fincher and Trent Reznor have worked together before so many times, but it's like this would work so much better for that movie because it is more industrial and it is.
But even the original A Girl with the Dragon Tattoo,
and it's even more like it's just darker, it's grittier, and so. Gwitty, hey.
Hey, Tron Ares hit the Gwitty in Fortnite.
So you have this now announcing Tron Ares is coming to Fortnite.
It actually is.
It actually is. I guarantee it is.
No, he is. Yeah, alleged sex offender Jared Leto is in Fortnite as Tron Ares.
Great.
In Fortnite, where all the kids are.
Allegedly.
What did I say? I saw a tweet today that was something like. I guess they announced that Art the Clown is coming to Fortnite.
Why not?
And someone said, hey, by the way, this is like if a Serbian film came to Minecraft.
Yeah. But I don't know if you guys have seen All Hallows Eve, but yeah.
But there were some moments where the soundtrack was so fucking good to me. And I was like, God damn it, it got wasted on this movie. And especially the scene that I'll talk about for my favorite part of the movie. The soundtrack was just peak. It was so good. And then I was like, and the scene it's wasted on is so fucking boring. So boring.
Which, you know what? What it reminds me of is, because what I'm interested to do is go listen to the entire soundtrack too, because I wonder how much music they made that didn't actually make the movie. You know, because a lot of those soundtracks, they're way longer songs and then they get cut down and used in different ways. And that's exactly what happened with the movie X, where they had a soundtrack made by Chelsea Wolfe. And I was like, a horror movie scored by Chelsea Wolfe was literally the headline in our heads when we went to go see that movie. We were like, I don't know what this movie's about. I don't know who directed it. I don't know who's in it. I don't give a fuck. It's a horror movie with a score by Chelsea Wolfe. I couldn't ask for a better person to make music for a horror movie. And they fucking wasted that opportunity. Absolutely fucking wasted it. And throughout the whole movie, I was like, and then I go back and I listen to the score and I'm like, you know how much of this music she made that y'all didn't even fucking put in the movie? How dare y'all? How dare you think this didn't deserve to be in your shitty fucking... You know what? I was so pissed. I was like, they don't deserve Chelsea Wolfe for this movie, because this movie wasn't even good enough to have a score by her. And she made a lot more music for that score that didn't make it into the movie. So I would be interested to listen to this entire... soundtrack, this entire score, and see how much of it didn't make it, because I'm just like, yeah, I agree. I was like, yeah, 9 Inch Nails for a Tron movie, you got to go get someone that talented, but hey, let's also go find a talented writer and director too.
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you have to go all in. That's what I think. If
you're only gonna do a movie once every 10 years, go all the fuck.
I'm just like, if you're gonna go get 9 Inch Nails, okay, then you can't make this bubblegum pop glossy bullshit. You can't. You now need to completely re-envision Tron. Because Tron is electronic, and it is lights, and it is glossy. So now, if you're going to do something different, you go all the way different. You don't do this fucking sitting on the fence bullshit. So that's what I had this hope, this irrational hope with the trailer, that I was like, oh, everything's like red, and it's dark, and it's industrial, and it's gritty. Okay, that's why they got 9 Inch Nails. That makes sense.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, no, they didn't. It was still, like you said, a Disney, because there were moments too, especially with some of the chases on the highway and stuff. I was like, oh, this just feels like a Black Panther 2. Like, it felt like Black Panther 2 in multiple scenes. I was like, dude, fuck this. So it's like, I just hate that they were wasted it. But some of this makes sense when you see the crawl of credits at the beginning, when it's like, produced by Jared Leto. Produced by, it literally said produced by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. I was like, okay, so all these people who wanted to be in this were just like, I'll front some money for it.
Yeah.
And they're in the movie. Trent and Atticus are in the movie. They even got roles.
Oh, are they?
I didn't even notice.
They're the fighter pilot.
Oh, okay. Oh, so wait, they're not. Their faces aren't in it. They're just.
No, they're literally just wearing fighter pilot helmets.
That's funny.
They don't even get good roles.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
though.
I was really disappointed with how and to Timothy's point too, like Timothy's saying like, hold on, sad scene, piano. They overdid the music as well. It's like you don't need. This is not a Hallmark movie. We don't need music from
every minute,
especially for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
no one understands the value of
felt
silence.
like a Hallmark movie now that you mention it.
wait, was this a Hallmark movie?
Wait a minute. Did they kiss at the end?
No one
all they
understands
had.
the value of subtlety better than Daft Punk. I'm just kidding. It's the opposite. Anyways,
Jared Leto understands it.
yeah, very subtly putting his hand on the
very
lap.
subtle acting on his
Allegedly putting a hand on the lap. But yeah, I mean the cast is also like, you know, a mixture of really well-known actors and a mixture of why the fuck is this person in a movie. I'm like, you go and you get like Evan Peters and Jared Leto, who are both, you know, like, okay, Jared Leto gets a lot of flack, but I mean, he once upon a time was considered a really good actor. He is like an Academy nominated actor. Like this guy in like Dallas Buyers Club. Like when was the last time someone watched Dallas Buyers Club? Because that movie doesn't get talked about enough. That movie nominated for a ton of Academy Awards, a ton of incredible performances in it. And Jared Leto is phenomenal in that movie. He's in one of mine and Daniel's favorite movies of all time. He's the lead of Requiem for a Dream. You know what I'm saying? He's in Fight Club. Fight Club is a top 5 movie for me. Like
Blade Runner.
Like
Blade Runner. Okay, can I talk about that real quick? Blade Runner did it so brilliantly. They were like, "Hey, this is about where Jared Leto starts turning into a long hair cult leader, weirdo, allegedly. But it's just it's about that time, right? You know, like 2011 ish, whatever.
Right.
So he they did something so brilliant to me. They were like, "Hey, let's cast him as this villain who is this like weirdo fucking pseudo intellectual creepy, awkward, slimy cult leader freak." And I was like,
You don't even have to act.
I was like, dude, that's genius. And he was so good in that because he did feel like that. And he's doing these fucking speeches to this one ray of light going like, our bodies and how they're created life, whatever. And I'm like, this tracks. You know, like they do that so well. And you know what I mean? So I'm just like, I've seen him be used in the right way to his, whether it's his
and then at the
talents or
same
his
time, when he
personality.
was younger and he was like a little like, you know, emo punk bitch, he is used in Fight Club as a follower of a cult, and he's used in Requiem for a Dream as a fucking addict. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird.
He's not a leading hero. That's the issue. He's not a leading hero.
That's
very true. Yeah, being the good guy in a leading role, not really his thing.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just like the whole thing with Jared Leto is just like when he plays the Joker, and he gets made fun of for that a lot. But it's like, hey, every aspect of that movie was fucking horrifically bad.
True.
It's one of the worst movies ever made. Arguably the worst movie ever made. What are we, some kind of Suicide Squad? Like that, like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, and Will Smith, by the way, Academy Award winning actor as well. He's fucking god awful in that movie. Margot Robbie, Academy Award nominee and winner, right? Didn't she win for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think? Or just nominated? Anyways, awful in Suicide Squad. So Viola Davis is in Suicide Squad. So it's like, we can't really judge him for that. I mean, he just did what they asked him to do, and everyone in that movie was terrible. But then he goes and does Morbius, and everybody's like, okay, his career's over. Like, you know, so it's just like, it's such a weird autonomy thing, like with Jared Leto, where it's just like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? I'm like, are you just doing whatever they pay you the most to do? And are you just doing what everyone tells you to do? Like, you're not a good enough actor to take control of a scene. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So anyways, the casting in this movie is very awkward and weird. Evan Peters, again, not used appropriately. I mean, I feel like they're still trying to use Evan Peters as like a young punk kid. And I'm like, he looks 40, by the way. And he's not, but he looks 40. I'm like, he's an adult now.
Can I bring to attention one more issue I had with the casting?
Of course.
And that's that near the beginning of the film, when we're being introduced to Evan Peters and he's the bad guy. He's and I'll try and keep this spoiler light. He's showing off his technology to some to some generals and to some people who have money. And fucking Gary V is in the crowd. Gary V from whatever, Instagram, whatever, the guy who goes around buying stuff at garage sales is there. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? Is he going to buy a Tron bike and be like, watch me flip this on eBay? Fuck off.
I did not notice that.
He was literally standing there, and I'm like, I turned to Elizabeth, and I was my wife, and I was like, that's Gary V. And she said, please don't talk to me during this movie. I said, okay, but that's Gary V. What are you doing here?
And she said, and also not after the movie either.
Yes, yeah. They just threw him in there because people would be like, hey, that's the guy from Instagram.
Weird.
That's kind of what happened in the Thanksgiving movie. I was told that there was a very famous TikToker in that Thanksgiving movie, and I was like, I don't do TikTok. But yeah, I think that we are ready to get into some spoiler talk because I'm excited to tell you about some of the other issues we have this movie. What did this movie do well, by the way, for you guys? The CGI is great. The CGI. It's a Disney movie
CGI
made in 2025, so it should be.
It better be. I think, too, I actually did like the design of the suits. I like the design of the bikes. I like the design of a lot of...
The flying suits that they had.
The flying shit.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Like, all that stuff I thought was actually really cool. I thought it was kind of interesting. The differences between grids was kind of cool. And But again, it's
I also have an issue with that, too, and we'll get to it.
But again, you notice that... Oh, what did they do well? What did we like? It's like the stuff that's rarely in the movie.
Yeah.
Not very,
the
not
stuff
in the
that
movie.
they already figured out 10 years, almost 10.
That too, yeah. They have
12, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still like it. Surprise, surprise. Why didn't you just focus it on that?
Right.
Right.
So, yeah.
All right, let's get into spoiler talk.
Give me some.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Okay, let's get into the rundown.
It's time for the rundown. Guess what? My voice is a little better. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, so this movie is about Tron Ares. It's about Tron Ares.
It's by Tron.
This movie could have been called Ares, by the way.
True.
And you could have removed everything
been
Tron
better.
about it.
Grid World. Call it Grid World.
And let me tell you why.
Very well.
So this movie is about two competing companies in the Tron universe. It seems like one of these companies is a video game developing company, but the side thing is that the CEO of the video game company, her sister was running experiments on how to use hard light technology to digitally create organic material.
Simple stuff.
The science fiction aspect of it, you just have to suspend disbelief in its entirety. It is, we can use lasers to make trees.
Yeah, but I just love that what you just said sounds like someone bullshitting about their job.
Which, by the way, is word for word what they say in the movie.
Yeah, because you're like, yeah. So what do you do for I'm on a hinge date.
You're at a Christmas party.
Yeah, Christmas party. What do you do? What do you do for work? Oh, I'm a project manager. So what? Oh, okay, project. So what do you do? What did you say? What was it again?
We use hard light technologies to create organic material through laser technology.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I saw that on TV. They were talking about it.
Like 3D printing steaks. No.
Oh,
okay.
yeah. My cousin is like that.
Oh, yeah, I have a cousin who does that. Like
I saw
oranges.
the billboard. Yeah.
Okay, so she's doing that, and then on the other side you have another company who is a company that is the bad guy company, and they're using hard light technology to create artificial military equipment, so like tanks and soldiers. So he has programmed the guy from the bad guy company. It's Evan Peters. I don't remember his fucking name. Whatever. It's Evan Peters. He has designed and programmed the ultimate soldier named Ares, and it is just a program.
He made him look like Jared Leto.
And can we talk about that? Evan Peters' character he's like, I want to make a super soldier. I'm making him so pretty.
I'm gonna give him long
He's gonna be
hair
hot as fuck.
and perfect eyes and maybe a little bit of eyeshadow too.
A little eyeshadow. Yeah. And his voice is gonna be phenomenal.
Phenomenal. And then I'm gonna make a girl one, and I'm gonna give her nice lipstick and little purple lines under her.
Oh, and like put eyeliner under the bottom because she's scaly.
Yeah, she's scary.
Yeah.
She's a bad guy.
So he has created this program, and he has run 1,000 different defense programs. So he is the best soldier ever. He can fight anything. He's also a very good hacker, whatever. So
Allegedly.
again, you just have to suspend disbelief with all of the technology bullshit in this movie. They don't explain anything, and they just expect you to accept everything. It's totally fine. Whatever. In the original Tron movies, if you don't know, those movies were about people who were like, what if we could turn ourselves into digital, bring ourselves into a digital world and play a video game with our actual human forms. That was what Tron was about. So then, Tron Legacy, like the whole point is when he goes back into the grid where the video game is happening, they've actually lived in the grid for so long that the, people and the characters and the AI of a video game have created like societies and like more rules to this game and created like governments and rule and all this stuff around this video game. So it's very like, hey, advancement. And I have an issue with this movie because of what they did in Tron Legacy and showing like, hey, all this advancement, blah, blah, blah. But I'll get to that. Point is, in this movie, those two companies don't do none of that shit. They don't do none of that shit. It's not about video games at all. What they are doing in their grids is just a computer. Their grid is not a video game. It's just a computer. So this Ares character, okay, he exists in just this guy's computer. He's just a defense pro. He's a fucking... He's McAfee antivirus. Like, please, like, understand.
That is really what it is.
He's the most advanced McAfee antivirus.
He's not good at it.
And he's true. Yeah, he's more like Norbu. Was that antivirus? Is that what it's called? Anyways,
Norboot.
So Ares is starting to become more human. He's starting to have feelings, while at the same time he's being asked to hack into this other company, into their servers, because the CEO of that company has followed in her sister's footsteps. She has found the code, the permanence code is what they call it, from the archives of Kevin Flynn from the original Tron movies, from his programming. Okay? What this permanence code is everything that gets created by this hard light laser technology, both by the bad guys creating military weapons and the good guys who are trying to just make food. Which, by the way, in society today, a lot of people would say the people making food, fuck them, they're bad. How come everyone just gets free food? We need military. Everything that those two companies make can only live in the real world for 29 minutes. That's as long as, and then they degrade. The permanence code is going to be some kind of awesome coding that was created by this guy 50 years ago that's going to allow everything to live in the real world forever. So they're both fighting over it the whole movie. That's what the whole movie is about. Hey, we're trying to get this permanence code. So Ares ends up disobeying the bad guys in order to save this woman so that he can get her to give him the permanence code so that he can become a real person in real life and live forever. The bad guys want the permanence code so that they can create tanks and weapons and soldiers permanently so that they can sell this to the military and make a lot of money. The first thing that they try and do to get the permanence code is they have Ares kidnap Kim, who is the CEO of the other company who's trying to make organic material, because she actually does get it, and he kidnaps her. They bring her into the grid, which is just his computer. It's just the bad guy's computer. Ares helps her escape that, and then they both have 29 minutes to go and get him the permanence code. And then she's like, well, I'm going to have to take you back to my office and then put you into Kevin Flynn's grid. So then he goes into Kevin Flynn's grid, and it's all 80s. It's all 80s themed, and it's all retro. It's all the retro shit. Why is it still retro when in Tron Legacy, the old computers have advanced into new societies and technology and looks like Tron Legacy?
You want me to answer that?
Go ahead.
So there's an answer, but my problem is that it's never explained, and it's not something that's even viably easy to find out within the Tron world. At the end of Tron Legacy, the grid itself is destroyed and downloaded onto a USB drive. That is the grid we know. The problem is that the movie does not explain that you can create multiple grids. We see that. Dillinger, the bad guy, they have their own grid. Eva Kim with Encom has her own grid. And again, the problem is it's not explained that the blue grid that we see at the beginning of the film, that's not the grid from Legacy. The grid from Legacy doesn't exist anymore. Or if it does, it exists on a hard drive, on a little USB. We see it at the end of Legacy. It's a throwaway scene. And that's the biggest problem, is that none of it's explained, because Ares does go into a grid. He goes into an old copy of the grid that was on the floppy drive, the floppy disk from the beginning of the film. She finds that floppy disk and she's like, oh, I figured out the code. I got in. It's an old copy of the grid. But again, it's never explained. That's the biggest issue, is that there are multiple grids.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't clear to me, because I was like, didn't they go into the grid in the old one and it was an old grid but had advanced it themselves?
Right, yeah. And so that's the problem. And the more you, and again, the issue is that this is just not, nobody can figure this out unless you've taken a bunch of Tylenol like myself, is the fact that, not only the grid from Legacy, there's technically an exact copy of it that, lives on in one of the video games. And it's like, okay, look, it's fine if there's lore built around this world, but if you're going to introduce multiple grids in the story, you need to explain it. And so when I was watching this movie, I understood it, but my wife was like, wait, why is the grid blue now? I thought it was red. Wait. And I'm like, no, they're not going to explain it. They're just different grids. Everybody's created one. And she's like, oh, that's really stupid. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Yeah, because it's not explained.
Yeah, and it's like these grids have people with like the disc and the bikes and stuff, and it's just programs fighting each other in order to hack other computers, but none of them are a video game. So I'm like, why do y'all have the stuff from the video game? Why do you have the disc from the video game and the bikes from the video game? You're not a video game. You're just a fucking antivirus software.
Your computer. Yeah.
Your computer.
You're storing a bunch of porn.
You could have you could have had anything.
This is
what we mean by it didn't have to be Tron. They could have just had spears and fucking bows and arrows.
It's the definition of losing the plot. That is actually what happened.
Yeah.
They lost the plot.
Anyways, so Ares goes into the retro version of this thing. He actually meets Jeff Bridges, who is old now. It's like, wait, but you're a permanent copy of... Anyways.
I thought that too, though.
Because they did the AI, young Jeff Bridges, who I thought looked like Kurt Russell. In my mind, it's Kurt Russell, but it's not. It's young Jeff Bridges, and it looks terrible in Tron Legacy.
It's horrible.
So I understand why they maybe were like, yeah, let's not do that again, you know? But regardless...
and he's just playing the dude.
He kind of is.
The amount of times he says "man," it just made me laugh. He's like, "Well, man."
Well, and remember, they only had a Saturday evening to record all of his scenes.
Yeah,
there's literally a scene where he's standing there going.
And you don't know how much longer we have with Jeff Bridges if we're being real. So maybe just get those scenes done quickly.
They were just recording. They're like, Jeff, say something.
Yeah,
hey, man. Yeah,
man.
So they do this, and then he gives him the permanence code. Ares comes out. All at the same time, there's another bad guy named Athena. Athena is the backup program to Ares. It's like, hey, this is his second in command in his fake digital military for Ares. The bad guy, Evan Peters, gives her permission to go and get the permanence code from Kim by any means necessary. So she leaves the grid and then starts downloading her own soldiers, her own weapons and military and all this stuff. And now Evan Peters is like, whoa, what the fuck? You got to stop, like whatever. And then his mom, who was the former CEO of the company, tries to stop her, and she kills his mom. And he's like, whoa, what the fuck? She said, you said to do this by any means necessary. It's like, you bad guy. Now you're facing the consequences of your own actions.
Oh, no,
dumbass.
Consequences.
Everyone told you to stop, but you
got
didn't.
your ass. By the way,
killed your mom. Gotcha.
But you feel stupid.
But no, I do want to mention, I think, again, I didn't like any performance in the movie, but Athena was my favorite performance. That's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so Ares leaves the retro grid now with the permanence code, and he fights off Athena in order to win. And while this is happening, Kim's company is hacking into the other company's grid so that they can just shut it down altogether. That's what happens. The good guys win, the bad guys lose. And right when they're about to go arrest Evan Peters because he did all this bad shit, he downloads himself into his own grid, which has now been destroyed. And then they set this movie up for like a sequel because he like grabs a disc at the end of the movie and becomes like part of the grid. The whole thing about Tron Legacy is that Kevin Flynn got stuck in the grid. So now they're going to do like this guy's in the grid, and they're going to do a fucking Stranger Things season 4. I'm not going to say any more than that because Daniel probably hasn't finished.
Which some of the score in this movie reminded me of Stranger Things, by the way. Just saying.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things.
I know. I do like to remind Timothy all the time that Stranger Things did invent synth. So anything that's
true.
synth is Stranger Things.
That is true.
Wait, there was more than just one season of that show?
Yeah, the things get stranger, dude. It's crazy.
You're not gonna
I don't know. They were pretty strange. I mean, a girl with no hair. Pretty strange.
Whoa.
I got 11 ticket to Tylenol before
She's 12 in season 2.
I never thought of that.
Wow.
Season 3, she's 13. Yeah. You get it? 11, 12, 13.
And Drake is
I don't
like,
get
when
it,
is
explain
season?
You mean 6? Season 6.
Season 6.
Season 6.
This is that math real fast, huh? Real fast math there, buddy. Anyways, that's the end of the movie, okay? I want to talk about some stuff that when I say this movie felt like it was written by someone who doesn't live in reality, there are a lot of moments where I felt this way. Here's one of the first things that I felt like.
Number one.
The first time that they send AI soldiers into the world to hunt down Kim, there are people driving at over 100 miles an hour on the freeway with lasers coming out of the backs of their motorcycles and cutting cop cars in half and then destroying cities and property and people's cars with lasers. And not a single police officer is dispatched to this situation throughout the entire scene. There's not a single cop on the
They don't want
road
the smoke.
that has yet to be called to be told, hey, there's someone using lasers to cut cop cars in half on the roads of this street, of this fucking
They
city.
saw Tron Legacy.
Apparently.
They're like, oh,
They were like, no, we've seen the movie.
it's probably Tron, bro. It's probably Tron.
They're just doing a Tron.
Remember that one?
They're doing a Tron Ares. What is this? Some kind of Tron Ares?
Oh, that's right. It was on the schedule. I forgot.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, what? Why is there not a single police officer? And if you guys are suspecting that this, like, motorcycle, people are potentially dying in the streets right now, is connected to this company, they immediately arrest this guy. Immediately shut this entire company down, bring in the military, and just stop it. In fact, you had a military watch this guy create these things. So a fucking actual general in the military was like, yeah, I actually know where this is from. This is from this fucking guy. Like, how do you not? It was just like, why is this not real? And then another thing was, and this is just a frustrating thing, the lasers that come out of the back, sometimes they are razor sharp lasers that just are like Star Wars lasers where they just cut through everything infinitely. And sometimes they're just like
they're
hard.
walls.
Sometimes they're like walls.
Yeah,
and they just like hit people.
bloom.
I'm like, what the fuck? Make up your mind about what these are.
That's what I was thinking when she touched it at the end. I was like, oh, bitch, why are you about to stick your hand in that? And then just is like, bloop, it's like a bubble. I was like, wait,
no.
what? I saw that cut a cord in half.
Yeah. I was like,
Did you not see the last movie?
okay, next thing. We don't live in reality, okay? They are acting like this girl, who is the CEO of a company that makes video games, would be famous. If the fucking creators of Halo were in the room with you right now, you would not recognize them. And that's one of the most famous games of all time. If the people who fucking create, like, everyone knows God of War, if the guy who created, the director or the CEO of the company who made God of War was walking down the street, you would not go, oh my God, that's the guy who made... Game developers are not famous. Why are we acting like
face paranoid?
They're acting like every... I know. I was like, I don't care what she made. I don't care what she made. She would not be famous.
They have a game. It's called Tron.
That shit pissed me off.
Tron is a game in the Tron universe.
I was like, they keep talking about this Space Invaders game. You made Tron!
Tron!
In this world, Tron is supposed to be one of the most famous games of all time. They do a fucking opening intro where they're going through the history of Tron, and they're explaining that the game Tron was like the highest selling game of all time, like one of the 2 highest selling games of all time in this universe. If you fucking made a movie about Tetris and all you fucking talked about was Dig Dug, I'd say, hey, remember when you made Tetris? Like, what the fuck? Anyways, it was just driving me crazy. Anyways, video game developers are not famous. No one would recognize this woman. Even if she took a magazine and put it on the thing and said, hey, see, I'm the girl who made that game. I'd be like, cool. What?
Cool, man.
Don't care. So that was dumb. Here's another thing that happens. Hassan Minhaj, who honestly was not that bad. He could have been. Hassan Minaj is better in this movie than Ronnie Chang is in Megan.
Oh, by a country mile.
By a country mile. They really did not do a bunch of cheesy, bad, hey, remember this guy's a stand-up comedian humor with him. Mm-hmm. So I appreciated that a lot. But
he looks great in a suit.
He does look great in a suit. He's really a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he looks great.
He is the CTO, Chief Technology Officer, right? I'm assuming. CTO.
That's the shit that football players get?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's the shit that Cam Scatterbo gives to everyone else like it's chicken pox. He's the CTO of a game company, okay? And at the end of the movie, they're like, we need to hack into this other company's system. So he's like, I'm going to go and hack into them. And then he does it. And I was like, I don't know if you guys have ever worked in a corporate office or just really any job where you're a low-level employee and there's a bunch of high-level employees. Those high-level employees, like CTO-level employees, have no fucking idea how to do the day-to-day job of that company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. They're just grifters. They just float around from company to company.
They wear suits, in fact.
I'm like, if
they
you
are
actually,
people that look good in suits. That's what they are.
And sometimes cowboy hats, yeah.
The CTO of a video game company right now could sit down in a chair and do video game programming, you're fucking insane. You have actually never worked a job in your life.
Nah, there's a reason he's got that corner office, baby.
He's the reason they got that. Not even my least favorite line in the movie, which we'll get to that too.
Me either. I looked over at you. You might have been falling asleep, so you didn't even notice me looking at you. But I looked over at you when he is going through. Oh no, he's at the pier. He's at the dock with Eva, and he's like looking at her, and then it shows his point of view, and it's like data crunching.
Oh, this is Ares that you're talking about.
Ares, yeah. Ares is looking at her, and it's like data crunching, and it says empathetic response.
We both looked at each other. I remember
we did, okay. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
We said, okay. Ares is
telling me.
Autistic. Cool.
Thank you.
That is actually
thanks for spelling it out.
Every POV of Ares, I'm like, this is just how autistic people see. They just go.
That's just what Jared Leto sees.
Oh, empathetic response. Okay, that's actually how they do Abed in in Community, where they did his POV for the RoboCop episode.
Yeah, it was just so funny. It was really silly.
It was really funny, really silly. So yeah, it's just like these things exist in this world, and I'm just like, I don't get it.
Also, let me see all of the data and shit of a CEO of $1 billion company. Let me tell you how much empathy I would fucking have.
So true.
Zero.
So Ares. So there's a plot point in this movie where Ares hacks into everything about Kim, the CEO of the video game company. And he reads every single message she has ever sent. He reads every single file, every email, and he's like, I feel so bad for her. I'm like, fuck you. Hey, how about you look at how quickly she paid her sister's medical bills when she passed? How about that? Because not everyone who loses someone to cancer is just totally fine financially after that.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, I mean, it's a Disney movie, but if you were being realistic, you would find some insane shit in those files, bro.
Yeah. They'd be like, hey, so-and-so actually got hurt and they're going to file a workers' comp. And then she says, well, tell everyone they were drunk. Yeah. I'm not paying that shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No.
Imagine Ares accidentally pulled up footage of the healthcare guy, and then he was like, I gotta take this one out.
Yeah. No, he pulls up the fucking flight logs.
Yeah. He's like, this is long. This is really long. This is way longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it should be him just reading the flight logs and going, oh, I loved him. Damn it.
And he goes, oh, just going to erase this one real quick.
I'm just going to erase it.
No one needs to see that. All right. But yeah, it's just like
Gandhi?
When they talk about awkwardness and like this movie not being good, like I think one of the best scenes that we can talk about is when Ares is driving the CEO back to her company headquarters. Okay. The scene is super awkward because it's them driving in a car together and he's like, I like Depeche Mode. And she's like, you like music? He's like, yes, it make me feel good. I like it. And it's like, okay. And he's like, you remember this message you sent? And she's like, you read all my messages. And he's like, I've seen all of your hidden videos and pictures.
Pussy,
by the way,
pussy.
I've seen your hairy pussy. I didn't know that an armpit fetish was for women too.
I didn't know pubic hair could also have a Fu Manchu.
But how would he know what that is?
Because he read everything. He read Frankenstein, bro. I am fearless.
Oh, that's
and
right. He
therefore
did read
dangerous.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
You're right.
Also,
He did a little
if you think
digital
that
scan
being
off.
fearless makes you dangerous, then you clearly haven't seen The Dark Knight Rises.
That's true.
He didn't have time to watch it. He only had time to read Frankenstein. He's a bit of a contrarian.
True. Anyways, and also, oh, she's so cool because she read Frankenstein. It's like, oh, she's so fuck off, dude. Fuck
She was
off.
probably reading Frankenstein when her sister was dying, being like, "Can I bring this bitch back?"
Oh yeah, she's the
Watch
only one
this.
who's ever lost anyone ever. Yeah, I've lost people
Right,
too,
yeah.
and I didn't have a fucking $1 million afterwards either.
Or Frankenstein.
No sympathy for the rich. I don't care if you're trying to use hard light technology to make orange trees. Oranges are not that valuable in terms of systemic food crisis. Can you make
Yeah,
potatoes?
I like a good one.
Can you make pizza? Ooh, that'd be good.
No, she made a Tron Ewies instead.
No, she should make pizza.
Do you think that she made breakfast
should-
burritos? Like the
She
woman?
made a Tron Legacy. I got really scared when Eva and Ares were talking to each other up against that car. I was like, please don't kiss.
I
Please,
know.
Please don't. And I was like, the camera's getting really close. Please hold some fucking restraint.
Yeah.
And thankfully they didn't. I was
Yeah.
so scared.
That's where you just screen grab and put her 2013.
Him. I think, have we done this bit yet? Him being the sequel to her?
Me and you came up with that.
Never heard of it.
I think
You and I.
You,
I've never
yeah,
heard of
me
that.
and you.
Me
came
and
up
you
with that.
specifically came up with that, and no one else. And no one else.
That's a
I said.
really good joke.
It's really good.
Patent that.
It's really funny. Okay. Anyways, those were my gripes about that. The scene with the car. Okay, we were talking about it being awkward. This movie being awkward, and that scene felt the most like a Disney movie to me too. But it is also an example of, and this is why it's the worst scene in the movie. Spoiler alert for my least favorite part of the movie. It is also a great example of why this movie is so boring. Hey, you guys have an AI artificial guy who we have seen previously can fly through the grid while creating a hard light digital fucking wingsuit and has these fucking insane awesome motorbikes and tanks and cars. And you guys were like, we're going to put him in a Honda. And we're going to have a whole scene where he drives crazy through the roads on a Honda. And I was like, wow, that's so fucking boring for a Tron movie.
Yeah, just literally POV of a car weaving through traffic on a highway.
Horrifically boring. Like embarrassingly boring for a Tron movie.
Yeah.
Like Tron Legacy, when I say Tron Legacy, it's like, hey, the boring parts of Tron Legacy are still. If you took a screenshot of the most boring part of Tron Legacy, you could make that your wallpaper on your desktop.
Absolutely.
Like that's how good visually that movie is. This movie is not even fucking close. This doesn't even touch. And by the way, the original Tron, a lot of technological disadvantages for how old that movie is. Still had very iconic visuals and still had like really revolutionary,
for the time.
groundbreaking. Yes, for that time, groundbreaking technology being used for visual creativity. And this movie had every advantage over both of those movies, by the way. In terms of there's literally zero limitation these days of what you can do visually, and they drove a fucking Honda through traffic
And couldn't do ADR.
and couldn't do ADR. What the fuck is this? Like, is that not infuriating? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that scene was so fucking boring and awkward and so Disney coded, and I was like. And again, you talk about like they didn't deserve 9 Inch Nails. I'm like, this is the most bubblegum scene of it all. Is this fucking? I'm like, this looks like it's something out of a fucking Melissa McCarthy movie. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Anyways. Like I could just picture there being like a bigger, wider shot of them just weaving through and then just cutting to her and be like, what kind of fucking sex did you get? Who likes Slim Jim is sweet and sour? They are terrible, by the way. Don't get the Slim Jim sweet and sour.
I won't. I was never gonna.
Man, everything that I understood as soon as the movie started and we kind of got the lay of the land, that I was disappointed when I realized, okay, the main thing here is that they're bringing these characters out of the grid into the real world. And I understood that. I kind of had gotten that from the trailers anyways, but I understood that. And when it's pretty early on in the movie when we see Ares infiltrate NCOM's grid, which is the blue grid. And as soon as that happens so early in the movie, I literally slumped in my seat and I was like, this is probably the last time we're going to see the grid in this movie. This is the last time we're going to see the actual cool stuff.
That was kind of true.
And it was, right, because anytime they go to the red grid, you know, the Dillinger bad guy grid, it's like we're up in our high castle talking about stuff. And I'm like, okay, but you have
There's
two
the grids
settings
over there
in this movie. The grid and the real world. Why would I want to be stuck in the real world? Why? Mm-hmm. And so when they bring Eva into the grid, I was like, oh, I did not anticipate this. I didn't think she was going to go in the grid. Sweet. Now we're going to see it. And then they escape. And I'm like, okay, nope.
Yeah,
right. I guess we're just wasting that opportunity.
That scene was a scene that I had, that was one of my examples of like this, the song that is playing during that scene is like it's just out of sync for me with the scene. And I guess, yeah, there's two different sides there. You could say this, the song is not, you know, servicing the scene is not servicing the song. But I'm just like, this is such a like intense moment of the movie, and it's supposed to be like big and epic and badass, and it's just like, you know, the music comes in and it's a little bit darker and a little bit, you know, more melodic, and I'm like, this isn't very epic. You know, the music isn't very epic. And
yeah,
I'm not saying like, oh, I would rather it be a, you know, fucking what is it, like Inception? You know, I'm not saying it should be like that, but at the same time, I was just like,
yeah,
the way it ramps up is not as much as the movie ramps up in that scene.
What scene is this?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So this is the chase scene in the red grid when they're chasing him on his jet ski, his Tron jet ski.
Yeah, as he tries to take her to
the transfer portal.
Transfer
which, by the way, they call it the transfer portal, which, if you guys don't know, is something they refer to all the time with college sports, because if you want to change teams when you play for a professional college NCAA football team, you go into what's called the transfer portal. So every time they refer to it as that, I was like, why y'all calling it that? Y'all know that's a thing, right? And then I was like, oh, this movie's made by Disney. Of course I don't fucking know what a transfer portal is. Fucking dumbasses, the nerds. You think Disney adults know about college football?
It's more
No.
Yeah, that's I don't think that I have anything else to say about this movie. It was bad. It was a bad movie.
Do you have specific examples or scenes that we couldn't talk about in spoiler talk that you had issues with?
No, you've already mentioned all of them, really. Like, straight up.
Sorry.
No, I mean,
Well, I have to point out this too. Evan Peters is talking to the guys in the grids via a keyboard. And like they specifically show it, like when Evan Peters is in the grid, he's showing up his master control. It's his big digital gobbledygook face, and it's talking to them. But he has to type in what they're saying, and what the grid people say to Evan Peters shows up on his screen as text. So there's no voice connection. It's just texting. Near the end of the movie, he's telling Athena with the big gobbledygook voice, he's like, go find them and kill them. And she looks at the gobbledygook thing and she nods her head yes and walks away. And I was like, but he doesn't know that. Is he just sitting there being like, hello, are you still there? Athena, where are you? Bro, are you not? Why aren't you picking up the phone?
Bro, here's some example. Yeah, this movie has a lot of examples of like just bad logic. Like one of the biggest ones though for me was I was like looking at Dan and going, what the fuck is this, like setting this up on purpose type of shit? When Kim and Ares escape the grid, they escape Dillinger's grid, his server. In order to escape that, when they leave, what happens is they automatically trigger the lasers in his lab to 3D print them. It looks like 3D printing. Okay, They literally have like extra stuff on the outside that has to be torn away for the actual product to look like it does, like 3D printing does. So they get 3D printed into reality, and when that happens, they are in Dillinger's lab with all of his employees around. And they've already shown us that they have a gun that just shoots people and then puts them back into the grid. And they get there, and then Ares is like, Evan Peters is like, well, you found your way out, I guess. And I'm like, shoot her with a gun.
Away. Kill her. You were going to in the grid.
She has what you need or whatever, right? And he is a digital program, and you need her. So take your gun that puts people back into the grid and shoot her with that gun right now. She's in your fucking lab. Close the doors. Oh, how are you going to leave? I closed the door. They're my doors. I locked them. And then I'm like, and him, just kill him. He's a fucking program. Control Alt Delete. Okay, you're gone. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. And then shoot her with the laser. Put her back in there. You have your second in command, and Athena, and say, hey, he didn't do what he did. I just deleted him. You better do what you're supposed to do now. Movie over. Bad guys win. But no, they get there, and Evan Peters is standing in front of them with all of his employees surrounding him, all his big henchmen in their suits, and he's like, I guess you found your way out. Well, you better be able to do what you want to do in the next 29 minutes, because that's how long you have. I'm like, kill them! Kill them! You're such a bad guy. You 10 minutes ago were telling them, like, they're basically explaining to him, like the programs in his grid are explaining to him, hey, if we get the code from her, you're asking us to get, it'll delete her in this world and in reality. So he's saying she will be dead. You're going to kill her by doing this. And he's like, do it. But then she gets out and he's like, oh, babe, well, you got out. Kill her now. Like, it was just so stupid. And then he's like, I'm going to print Athena now, and Athena's going to go hunt them down. I'm like, why? Why would waste your time with
She's
that shit?
She's going to have an extra minute on them.
Just fucking kill them. Oh my God, you're such a terrible bad guy.
You brought up in spoiler-free talk about how there's like horror movie logic in the movie. One of the things that most exemplified that to me was there's a scene where Athena crashes into their little headquarters space, and Eva runs away from Athena by crawling under pinball machines. And Athena is like, I know what I'll do. I'll lift each one of these pinball machines up one by one instead of walking to the left.
Yeah.
Or crouching and shooting.
Yeah. I'm like, you can just shoot. Like, you could just walk around the pinball machine.
You could just walk
to
around
where she's going to go
to the left of them, and you now have unbelievable advantageous position. Like,
but even before she does that,
aim, you can hip fire it.
True. Yeah.
Hit her.
Athena is also, she crashes into the building, and she just, the Kim is just subtly, slightly behind a whiteboard, and then Athena's like, where the fuck did they go? What?
Where'd you go?
They're right there. What do you mean? Oh my God. It was just like, there's so much of that type of shit. I'm just like, and
of course they do. We've talked about this all the time on the pod, but they do all right, I finally got you, and I'm about to kill you.
I'm going to shoot you and end this all in 3, 2. You better not do anything.
Don't do this, and it better not rain right now.
If it rains right now, it's going to distract me.
I'm going to cry.
Oh, dude.
I'm going to cry.
Speaking of bad logic, okay, here's another thing, and I need more people to understand this. In buildings that have sprinkler systems, the water in the sprinkler systems stays in the sprinkler systems at all times. It does not gather from an outside water source. That would defeat the purpose of a sprinkler system, because in an emergency, the water systems might not be working. You might not have running water. So those sprinkler systems are set up to have water in them at all times, which means the water inside of a sprinkler system is fucking disgusting. Okay? If you don't know about this, talk to some first responders. That water is gross. It is dirty. It is stinky. And it covers everything. Not a single fucking thing in this office would have survived those sprinklers going off. Not a fucking computer in there. There would have been probably, 5 inches of water flooding the place, because that water is supposed to completely put out all fire. They have the sprinkler system go off in this movie, and then like the next scene, everything is dry and they're just back on their computers. I'm like, no, that's not how sprinkler systems work. The sprinkler system is not set to be like, oh, I guess the fire's gone. I guess we'll turn off. They don't know the fire's gone. They just empty all of the water in the fucking sprinkler system. That's how they work. But yeah, that water would have came out and they would have been like, because it's so gross.
Look, I understand that the quote unquote water in the grid is not water. It's like little bits. I get that. But the fact that Athena gets, water on her and she's like, what is this? Is like, okay, all right. What are we?
Yeah. It just contributed to the 3, 2, I'm gonna shoot you, thing.
Yeah.
Which was just
ridiculous.
Bad.
Especially because they had already done it so many times at that point.
And you know what's funny is that when Athena comes back and she's invading like the whole town at this point, and they have like flying things and they're like, taking down fighter pilots and all this stuff. The thing that was like cool about this scene is that we were in the Dolby Cinema, and everything that happens was, ugh, grr. And it was just like, usually I'm not the kind of guy who's like, I feel like the cheesy action bullshit should be the majority of a movie. Because, but at the same time, I'm like, this is a movie where I want a lot more of this. Mm-hmm. If the majority of the movie was my chair shaking level of action, I would have been a lot happier with what happened. But no, there's the chase scene of them, through the city was like nothing. It's just overhead shots of lasers, lasers going throughout the streets. Again, not a single fucking police. They're literally covering the streets in deathly lasers, just destroying cars. And by the way, some cars can hit it and just flip over, and then some of them get cut in half. So make up your fucking minds again. So it's just like, that's what's happening in the streets. Either impenetrable barriers are being set up in the middle of roads, or deathly lasers are being used to cut things in half. And not a single police officer is dispatched. And it's just these overhead shots of just these lasers going on throughout the town. And I'm like, this is not interesting. It's not nearly as interesting as the shots where we're seeing them actually riding the bikes. And neither of them is like really trying to hurt the other person. They're both just like, one of them is chasing them, the other one's running away. It's like, well, that's the problem, because you set up this thing already that, Ares has like an affinity for this girl or whatever, or he's like, he feels some kind of type of way about her. So there's like less tension in the scene than there should be. And so that part sucks. And then, you have this chase scene in the actual grid, and that scene is pretty cool. And then you have the scene where this giant thing is floating through the sky of, the town, and it crashes and then falls. And then that's the end of that. Okay, that was on screen for fucking 10 minutes. And that's it in a 2-hour movie. There's like 2 really good action sequences in a 2-hour movie that is based off of a video game. I'm like, that was just so lame to me. I was like, this should have been the majority of the movie. And in Tron Legacy, it is.
They lost the sauce. They didn't watch Legacy.
It was, como se dice, bad, terrible, awful.
And what sucks is that we have been available for consultation for as long as this movie has been being made.
Which we market very often.
As a fan of the Tron series myself, I know Timothy, a fan of the Tron series, has read the Tron comic book. We know that this was disappointing, and it could have been really good. Even if you kept the concept of we're bringing the grid to real life, you still could have kept that, because in Tron Legacy, there's a bad guy who is like running the grid, and he like wants to control everything and how the game is played and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. And other people are like, we're just trying to live, man. And like, whatever.
Yeah.
And you could have had that guy come back and be like, hey, I found a way for us to put ourselves in the real world. We're going to make everything the grid. And that could have been the movie, and it could have been way more exciting and interesting. And you could have been like, hey, we have this guy, he was in the military, and he's like the best motorcycle rider in America. We're going to have him fight these guys or whatever. Or like you could have been like, hey, so we found this guy, he's actually the best gamer in the world, and we're going to like, have him control AI printed soldiers, and he's going to actually control them in real life to save us. And that would have been cool too. They could have done like a gamer thing with it. Gamer, the movie, Gamer.
Gerard Butler.
I hardly know her.
Gamer.
That movie was also more realistic in that, like, okay, in this movie, we're supposed to believe that you can program anything and create a hard light digital creations of something that exist in our physical world. In Gamer, that movie is about there being real life people that you can control with your mind, and you have the same feelings as you can feel everything that they feel, see everything that they see, and they are just avatars for yourself. And in that movie, they show that there are really disgusting, weird, creepy people just using that to be sexy girls or to have sex with sexy girls. And in this movie, not a single time does Evan Peters print a sexy girl.
I thought that as soon as he does the demo.
Ex Machina. Ex Machina, hey, I can create women with pussies, and I created a girl with a pussy, and I fuck her.
Hold on a second, David. He doesn't print a sexy woman, but he does print a sexy man.
Oh.
Yeah, fucking heteronormative asshole.
Come on, man. It's 2025.
Yeah,
you gotta
dude.
Be thinking.
What are you?
Come on, man.
At no point does he fuck Ares. And if he had fucked
that we know
Ares,
of, there might be another comic book.
Hey. I mean, Rule 34, if it exists.
Yeah, comic book, what I said.
Yeah. But at no point does he do that. Very unrealistic, Disney. Very unrealistic, okay? If a man had the ability to create that, he'd be fucking it.
Well, he was already taken anyways.
What?
Drew.
I mean, y'all saw that scene with him and his mom, right?
Yeah.
Was it
Yeah, I
just
mean,
me that was like,
If Gillian Anderson was in there,
All right,
then
yeah.
that would have been
Little
easy. I don't need
Oedipus.
to print anything.
it was so Oedipusy. Oedipusy.
And a pussy.
But yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have anything else to say before we wrap it up?
No, the movie was bad. I didn't like it.
No, I as a longtime Tron fan, I did not like it.
My least favorite part of this movie, unsurprisingly, is the Honda scene. It's just so bad, so odd. It is a perfect combination of everything we said is wrong about this movie. The action is not good or present enough in this movie. The movie is very awkward and feels like bubblegummy, and the scenes are just, the dialogue is terrible and the acting is awful, and the score does not service the movie properly, or vice versa. You know, that is everything bad about this movie exists in that scene. My favorite part of this movie is anytime we actually get to see Tron shit. Like, probably like the chase scene in the grid is probably the best scene in the movie because we actually get to see some Tron. We get to see some people in a fucking digital world using lasers and bikes and cool, interesting, and creative designs of vehicles that don't exist doing things that vehicles can't do in a world where everything is, you know, very stylized. That was awesome. And it's like, normally we don't like the everything is on CGI. Like, we didn't like that in Ant-Man, you know, where just, it's, oh, hey, just green screen the movie. But Tron needs to be green screen the movie. Like, that's the whole point of it. Mm-hmm. So the fact that
That's
they
Tron, yeah.
didn't do that, and I was like, Disney, this is your favorite thing. Green screen the movie is your favorite thing. And you had the perfect opportunity to do that. And anyways, this, when they did do green screen the movie shit, it was the best part of the movie to me.
My least favorite part of the movie is the performances, and especially the sister. What the fuck, man? Something was so off about. I thought that actress was AI.
She might have been.
The whole time I was like, is this an AI actress? Like, what? Why is everything so bad every time she's on screen? So that was my least favorite part of the movie. My favorite part of the movie is the song for the scene when they are doing the chase out of the grid to bring Greta Lee back to Earth realm, whatever. which wait, Earth grid. So
Earth grid.
Earth grid. That song was so good to me. Like, I got completely lost. And I told y'all earlier that I was like, it was in service of something so boring. That scene, to me, it had elements that should have made it great because, like you said, he transforms into a Batmobile and shit after falling into the bit water. And it's like, it has all these things that should start setting it up for something, but it did not feel like the scene itself was just so fucking boring. They were just driving in a straight line. They just drove in a straight line, and it was like, oh, I hope they make it. But the song was just getting louder and louder, and they started incorporating more bass, and then they started incorporating little synth elements, and then eventually Trent Reznor starts singing a little bit, and I was like, dude, this is fucking cool. I love this song. I could have had my eyes closed, man. I don't care about that. So that's why it was the most joy I felt during the movie was just hearing that song. I was like, dude, this is so cool. I love this song, and I love that it kept getting louder, and they started mixing it in with some of the bike noises. And I was like, dude, fuck yeah. And now it was just a pure Dolby Cinema moment. It was, because it was just all audio based. And yeah. I loved it. I love that song.
And yeah, and as much as I love, you know, the Spider-Verse score, especially Across the Spider-Verse, you know, I still would say to this day that movie has the second best score to visual, like, harmony, right, to Tron Legacy. Mm-hmm. Like, that, I really do feel that. And then, like, third, Interstellar, obviously. But, like, that score for Across the Spider-Verse is one of my favorites of all time. And I can go back and listen to it and remember how fucking incredible the visuals improved the music and the music improved the visuals and vice versa, the harmony between them. And when I I still listen to the soundtrack for Tron Legacy to this day, even though I haven't seen that movie in probably 10 years, I fucking love that score. And it adds to my enjoyment of that movie, and vice versa. That movie adds to my enjoyment of the score. So I wish this movie could do that. I wish you could go and listen to that score and remember how much you love the movie.
Yeah, I would play Rocket League to the Legacy soundtrack a lot. And when Derezed would come on, I'm like, I'm about to score 1,000,000 points.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Watch me bust a move.
And when I listen to it, I'm like, dude, if I had heard this during fucking disc battle, I would go fucking nuclear.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
which, by the way, can I just say this? But I know I swear we'll get to Timothy's favorite part and his favorite part. But you know what would have been better instead of doing a new Tron movie? Because this actually fucking was not good and you shouldn't have done it. They should have done a new Tron video game. And imagine a cyberpunk level open world Tron grid video game.
that'd be sick.
And if y'all do that, that was my idea.
It's a visual novel. They have the visual novel video game that came out last month. You don't want to play that?
No. I'm the guy who says we need more one-player video games. Like, we just, like, not everything that comes out needs to be a PvP FPS game. But still, I think a Tron open world third-person video game where you go and you actually do, like, disc battles and you do light bike racing and you do all this stuff, and there's actually a story around it and whatever, would be so good. It'd be so good.
Yeah.
It's ironic that the franchise that is based around a video game has not had a good video game since whenever it came out in the 80s. That's sad.
I know, right?
My least favorite part of this movie was going to be a scene from the trailers that they actually cut. And when we were coming up to the scene in the theaters, I literally started gripping my seat because I thought I was going to have an aneurysm and die. And it's the scene in the theaters where the security lady looks at Ares in his suit and she's like, "Burning Man?" And he goes, "No, it's temperature controlled." And I was like, oh my fucking God. Fucking kill me. He's a program. He doesn't need to. Oh my God. But they cut it out. And I was like, phew, they cut it out. So because that scene was cut out, my least favorite part was anything that was in the real fucking world. I could not stand it.
Yeah.
And like, I get the beginning, I should say, the opening scenes of the movie where our normal people are in the real world. I'm fine with that. I get it. We need to set up the movie. But past that, everything else was just so annoying, especially because my favorite scene was either the jet ski chase or when they infiltrate NCOM's grid, because I was like, oh, this is what I'm here for. I'm here for Tron. Let's go. And then they go back to the real world and I was like, oh, that was it. You could have showed me those two scenes and I would have walked out the theater and been like, that's a good movie. I'm glad I paid for that. I like that movie. But no, it had all this other shit in it that it was just.
I had yet another complaint too that I totally forgot to bring up when you speak of that infiltration scene. When he takes down, first of all, when they show Enron, they're not called Enron, but they might as well be. It's really close. I forget what they're actually called. NCOM. Yeah. Sorry. NCOM.
Yeah.
They show the building, NCOM. This is actually my least favorite part of the movie. So scratch what I said earlier. This is the worst part of the movie. By a country fucking mile. Worst part of the movie. He's hacking into NCOM. Hacking. Cut to top of the building. NCOM. Shows the NCOM. And we've seen this building a couple times already.
Oh,
NCOM.
I know where this is going.
Tilts down. It tracks all the way down the building. We see all these people outside with all these signs and everything. NCOM. We get to the bottom and we're underground. And now it's in a server room and there's a bunch of servers everywhere. And a fucking title card comes up. NCOM server rooms.
Yeah, just like type of type sound type shit where it's on the bottom left and it's NCOM server rooms. And I kid you guys not, we just saw this. We just got out of the theater. David looked at me and was like, "Are you?" Like, he looked at me with such a look that said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then looked back at the screen and held his thumb down out at the screen in front of everyone, just booing the movie silently. Just thumb down.
I wanted to throw popcorn at the screen.
Boo, tomato.
Let me tell you something. Every single person at Disney who thought that was needed, necessary, or good needs to be publicly executed. They do not belong in society with the rest of us.
No, put them in the GUID.
Anybody who went, wait, where are we now? Can you put the title card so we know where I don't know where we are now because we were at Income, now we're in the server room? Oh, this is Income server room. I didn't freaking know. Can you put a freaking title card there for me?
I'm so happy that the bad guy grid is red and the good guy grid is blue. Otherwise, I wouldn't know.
It's so true.
I wouldn't know who's the good guy, the bad guy.
They really just bit from Star Wars on that one.
Yeah. Not to mention that in this scene, too, he sends in like a nuclear bomb that destroys all of their servers. And then because he does that, the display at the conference that they're holding where they're announcing the new thing starts saying error on all of their screens.
Yeah.
I'm like, what does your servers for
Tron. Yeah.
What does the servers for a video game company have to do with the display of media on a fucking screen?
Yeah, doesn't make any sense.
That's like the equivalent of me saying, hey, you were watching a movie on a DVD player and I pulled out your router and then the TV shut off.
yeah.
None of those are connected. That is the equivalent. And keep in mind, this is Disney who made this movie. People who should understand technology very well.
Wait, the conference was in the Incom server room?
No.
Wait, but they didn't put another title card up when they go back to the conference.
I didn't know where they were.
So the rest of this movie did not take place in that server farm, you're telling me.
Correct.
How the fuck am I supposed to know that?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
This is the worst scene in the movie. I can't believe I said whatever bullshit I said earlier. This is one of the worst things I've ever fucking seen. That title card is the worst title card I've ever seen. And I can't remember another title card off the top of my head right now because of how bad that one was. It was
pretty bad.
Horrifically bad title card. This is like Pacific Rim does this a lot. Like Pacific Rim has like a bunch of title cards with no, we're over here, no, we're over here, no, we're over here. But it's a bunch of made up places.
Yeah.
I'm like, you showed me where it is. You literally showed me. And I kind of liked the exposition at the beginning of the movie where instead of having the main female character say like, well, I always felt like I needed to do this ever since my sister died of cancer. Instead of doing that, they tell her story through Ares hacking her phone and watching all these different videos and seeing her sister get sick and seeing her pass away and seeing her grieving over her sister. Like they do this, they did that really well. And then they have a title card for the server room. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? I don't know. It was so bad. Anyways,
Audience brain is soft.
Fucking 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Closer to a 1 than a 3.
I was also going to go 2 out of 10, and I would agree it is closer to a 1 than a 3.
Yeah, I have to admit that as a big Tron fan, my number is going to be skewed upwards no matter what because I love Tron. So with that skew in mind, this is also a 2 out of 10 for me. That's with the number being skewed upward.
Yeah.
Because it's an even bigger disappointment for me because I love the franchise so much. And I don't expect much. I really don't. Because again, Tron Legacy, it's got some issues. So does the original Tron. Mm-hmm. This one just blew my fucking brains out the back of my skull with how bad it was. I was like, look, I'm fine if the acting's bad, if it's cheesy, or if the story's not good, but it was just all over bad. And it was just such a disappointment. I cannot believe that. I know I've said this already. I cannot believe that this is the first Tron movie I got to see since Legacy, which came out in 2010. And I almost fell asleep in my fucking chair during this movie. Yeah, that should not be happening.
It is something that we say on this podcast all the time. It is worse to be boring than bad.
Yeah,
there are bad movies like VHS. Is a movie where it's a lot of bad, but it's never boring.
True.
And we see this a lot. Boring.
For the most part, there's some VHSs that are pretty fucking bad and boring, but
yeah, that's true. But yeah,
dime a dozen.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the same thing with a lot of action movies. Are the fucking Michael Bay Transformers movies good? No. But are they boring? Hell no.
So they're fun.
They're very fun. Like that's what Tron should be. If you can't make it good, make it fun.
Yeah,
you can't make it boring and bad.
They fucked up, man. They forgot that this is supposed to be fun. That really is my main quote for this movie.
Where's the fun?
It's a bummer.
It's like AI has feelings
no
too.
sauce.
It says like
Dry ass pasta, no sauce.
what is it to be human? And you know,
Empathy.
Not Jared Leto, that's for sure.
is being human liking Depeche Mode? Every time he
Yes.
said Depeche Mode, I was like, I want to fucking kill this man. I literally want to kill the people who wrote this movie. The people who wrote this movie fucking love Depeche Mode. And they're like, if someone listened to this band, they'd understand humanity.
Alexa,
At
delete
least, at
Aries.
least it wasn't. At least he wasn't like, I love Nine Inch Nails, or I love, what is his band, 30 Seconds to Mars.
that would have been
That
I
would
was
have
so
been
scared.
I would have liked that more. I would have liked it more if he was like, I don't know, I really feel this. And then if Jeff Bridges was like, I don't know, I like a lot of what Jeff Bridges says. And he was like, no, trust me, 30 Seconds to Mars clears. He's like, brother, have you heard Country Western?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, what was that movie he did? Crazy Heart or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you heard of the soundtrack to Crazy Heart? I like that one,
pretty
man.
good,
that one's probably up there for me. But we both agree
Yeah,
Daft Punk
I-
pretty good, right?
I always now think back to the original interview with Jeff Bridges when they announced Tron Ares, because they've been trying to make this movie since 2012. It's goes in and out of production, and there was an interview with Jeff Bridges when the movie finally got announced, and he's literally like, "Yeah, man, we're doing another Tron. It's pretty neat." And I'm like, "Okay, I know what the movie is like." It literally got him there on a weekend, and we're like, "Rolling, Jeff, say something." And he's like, "Yeah, man, good cut."
I don't know why we call it the permanence code. Could have called it the impermanence code. if you know what I
Impermanence
mean.
code, because
And take your pants off.
man.
What? Take your pants off. What? You're in my grid.
Hey, make
You're
sure when
my
you get into
grid,
the real
boy.
world, there's a title card.
We do things a little old school here.
Jeff Bridges.
That's why I created the grid, man.
Jeff Bridges sees Athena. He's like, we allow them in the grid now.
It zooms out of Jeff Bridges' original grid, and it's an island.
Anyways,
Yeah, man.
so we're gonna get into part 2 of this podcast. We're actually not doing a traditional part 2. We're gonna be playing some fun movie games.
We're going to be playing a game.
We've been talking about doing this more often, and I don't think any of us wants to read more about this movie online.
Yeah.
And we are back for part 2
Part 2. Woohoo.
of this podcast, where we're going to be playing at least a game. We'll see how long it takes us to play this first game. And then we can get into a philosophical and intellectual discussion about the history of cinema and what that means for society. Like, there's a lot of societal elements in movies. Like, okay, well,
It's a
Tron
Tron
after-
Part 2. It's a Tron Part 2. It's a Tron after party. It's a Tron after party. Shout out to Tron. Shout out to Tron.
Tron.
He was the best. I love Tron. In
I
that
loved
movie.
Tron.
I love
Tron.
Tron.
Is my favorite.
And then he
Fun
evolved.
fact, this is the first Tron movie that Tron was actually not featured in.
Well, here's what people don't understand is that Tron is actually a prequel in the Transformers series before he turns into Megatron. So a lot of people don't know that that's like that evolution, right?
Yeah, and Timothy can
Sure.
back us up on this.
100%.
Yeah, Bruce Boxleitner, the original Tron actor, said he didn't want to be a part of this one because it didn't nod to the origins, and
Yeah.
I agree with him.
You hate to see it. But no, we do have some fun games. Are we ready to play some games, guys?
Yeah, woo.
A game like Space Paranoia?
Not nearly that good. You'd have to be an absolute fucking megastar to make that. But I do have a game that I am just straight up stealing from the Kaiser boys, and it's a fun game. So I want to see how you guys do at it. Are y'all ready?
Yes, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to list off actors to see which one of you guys can guess what movie this is first.
Okay.
It's like a waste,
Please have
like
Jared Leto.
like Twan. Okay. I'll give you the first actor. Here we go.
This is like Wordle, but with actors in movies.
A little bit. Here we go. First actor. Oscar Isaac.
Ex Machina.
Star Wars. Frankenstein. Oh, do we keep guessing? Or we just get one guess?
Dune. I already said Dune.
You only get one guess per actor.
Oh, is it Dune?
Oh,
So we have Star Wars and
Ex Machina.
Ex Machina. Those are incorrect. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Ron Perlman. That's
Hellboy.
That's what makes, I'm telling you, it's what makes this game so fun, because you're like, wait a minute, who was in fucking what together?
Ron Perlman.
aren't they both in Drive?
Drive is correct.
Yeah, because Ron Perlman's in Drive and Oscar Isaac's like, isn't he
Dude.
like is the husband of some character?
Yeah,
or
he plays
something?
like an abusive husband from prison,
yeah,
like head shaved and everything. So I really did not think y'all would get that fast.
You really made me play against the Tylenol taker.
All right, here we go.
You made me play against Mr. Tylenol himself.
All right, that was really quick. GG, Timothy. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do this again. Are y'all ready? Next movie. First actor. Sorry. Rachel McAdams.
About time.
The Notebook.
Oh, she's in a lot of rom-coms. Those are incorrect.
Yeah.
Those are incorrect.
Okay.
Great guesses, guys. Great guesses. Stanley Tucci.
Mean Girls.
Oh my god. Wait. No, Spotlight. I just watched this.
Oh my god!
I just watched this on Tubi.
Timothy is the two.
I literally just watched this on Tubi. I even told you guys that I watched. I watched Spotlight, and then directly after I watched Zodiac. It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah, great. Okay, wow, Timothy's good at this game.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, I got one more for y'all. Okay,
Now I
are y'all
have to get it right or else.
all right?
Yeah, and now it'll be embarrassing for you if you get it wrong.
It'd be so embarrassing. All right, I'm throwing a curveball at y'all. Y'all ready for this?
Okay.
All right.
Timothy's gonna get it in one
Honestly, yeah.
actor now.
Nah, I don't know about that.
All right, first actor. Nick Jonas.
Jumanji.
Isn't he a singer?
Jumanji. Rack it up, boys. It's over.
Wait, hold on.
I just
Hold
said
on a second.
Jumanji. It's over for y'all.
Jumanji: The Next Level, because there's 2 Jumanji movies. No.
It is Jumanji. It is Jumanji. Welcome to the jungle.
Oh man,
Brother, I got it in one.
second one.
Brother, I got it in
Nice
one.
little redemption. See, I threw like a more like he's only in one. You know, let's try and
It's
make it
only
lazy.
in one movie. Yeah.
But it's funny to me that also in this movie is Alex Wolff.
Yeah.
Another
Which he's in the movie for a very short amount of time.
kid star who was in a band.
And also had a TV show about their kid star band.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Crazy. That was before the cocaine.
Okay, I got one for you.
A game.
Now, this is your game, but I'm giving it to you guys now.
Okay, you're making me go up against the fucking champ, dude.
Okay. First actor, you ready?
I didn't win.
First
You
actor,
did,
you
2
ready?
out of 3, dude. All right, I'm ready.
No, I got 2 out of 3. Yeah, I guess.
First actor, Rainn Wilson.
He's the guy from The Office, right?
Yes.
Super.
No.
He's in the Meg. I'll do the Meg.
No. Okay, you guys ready for the next actor? Mm-hmm. Jason Bateman.
Oh my God, Juno.
Oh, dude, that was quick.
I was gonna go Monsters versus Aliens.
All right. So we talked a lot about movie scores, okay? So while I cannot play movie scores because of copyright issues, I'm going to tell you the name of a track from a movie score and then see if you can guess it, and then I'll give you more names
Okay,
if you can't guess it, okay?
sure.
Because sometimes the names of the tracks actually...
Coincide with the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First song from this soundtrack is called Party.
Party?
Yes.
Party. What movie starts with a party?
Sorry, it's not the first song on the soundtrack.
Oh, my bad. Okay, my fault. Party. Mean Girls.
Shaun of the Dead. I don't know.
No. Okay. Next one. Dreams.
Oh my. Good Boy, the dog movie.
Requiem for a Dream.
Actually true. It was Requiem for a Dream.
Let's go.
No way, bro. How did you get that?
They have a little party. Yeah, I can. When he's cutting up and he's talking about, yeah.
Damn, the next one I was going to give you was Dr. Phil. I bet you could have guessed it from that. You guys ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right. First song, Stay.
Won't you
Interstellar.
stay?
Wow. You get that
with me?
immediately. One fucking song. Damn, I would have given you guys Cornfield Chase at the end.
Nope, you don't need to. That's Interstellar.
He definitely listens to that soundtrack a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Every day.
Okay. The first song from this soundtrack. You guys ready? Mm-hmm. Shape Escapes.
Shape Escapes.
Shape escapes. Annihilation?
Shape Escapes. Jumanji.
No. Okay, you ready for the next one? Mm-hmm. The Haunted House.
Any horror movie.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. Midsummer.
No. All right.
Paranorman.
Next one is Better Check the Kids.
What the fuck?
Weapons?
No.
Hereditary.
No. All right. The next one is this one. This one's gonna give it away, but it won't give it away as much as the titular song.
Okay.
Laurie's theme.
Oh, Halloween.
This is Halloween.
Yeah.
Oh, scary.
Bro, turn that off, please. Stop. Please stop, dude. I'm fucking scared.
If you guys enjoy these games and you want us to do more games like this and think it's fun, then let us know because we would love to do more of them. But that's it for this episode. Thank you so much, Timothy, for coming on. You guys can catch Timothy on our channel, Wild Dream Stream.
It's true.
And Timothy, is there anything you want to plug to all 10 people listening?
One
Not
of
at
them
the
being
moment,
you.
No, not until my lawyers say I can talk about it again.
Okay, right, because the allegations, of course.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly, I was allegedly alleged to do something. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
If you want to get involved in the conversation, let us know what you thought of this movie. If you want to go see it, let us know what you thought of this episode. You can reach us at Wild Dream Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Come watch us stream. We are streaming all the time. We're having a lot of fun. We're doing some spooky streams. We've been doing some spooky streams. We might be playing a spooky game that's just 2-player, just me and Dan in a little bit. Who knows? We'll see. We are at Wild Dream Stream on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok. We hope to see you there, and you can come see Timothy play with us as well. But until next time, we love you. We kiss you. Good night.